This is part 2 on how to build a newsletter. Last time we learned how to set up the banner or masthead area with our graphic and title, subtitle, school name, and date. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create columns, how to insert graphics into your story, and do some work with text boxes and some other things. To get set up, make sure your cursor is below your top area. And what we're going to do first is set up a section break. The reason we're doing this is so that the top part stays the same, but below the top part, we're going to make the document behave differently and look differently. So I'm going to go to the tab called Page Layout, and there is a command button called Breaks. And in there, I'm going to choose a section break called Continuous. All right, so nothing seems to happen, but below that line now, we're going to create two columns. So we'll have a top area that goes across the page, but below the top area, we're going to have two columns. So right next to breaks is the columns command. I'll click that, and you want to choose where it says More Columns. And then select 2 for this project. And then we're going to keep both columns the same, but you could change how big the columns are. But we're not. We're going to leave that the same. And make sure you check the box that says Line Between. All right. Now we don't see the line between yet, but it will appear as we add text. Now let's pretend that you are setting up your first story. You're going to write your first story, so you have to give it a title. I'm going to call mine Mad Science. Notice how I kept the formatting from the title, so I've got to change that. I'm going to go to the Home tab, and I'm going to choose Calibri for now. That can always be changed later. And then I have to create a byline. I'm going to press the Shift key and then hit Enter. Keep the two lines close together. I'm going to put by, and then you'd put your name as the author or whoever wrote it. And I'm going to make that a little smaller. So we've got a title for our first story and a byline. All right. Now I'm going to go with a left alignment for now, but I might change that. I don't have a story to type in right now, so I'm going to put some dummy text in just to see how things are going to look. And as we've talked about in class, to create dummy text, you would put this equals rand parentheses 3 and then hit enter. All right. So that took me to the second page. Now you see that the dividing line has appeared between the columns, and I'm kind of getting a sense of the look of the article and the newsletter. I'm going to select all my text here. I'm going to turn the size down to 14 for now. And I think that's closer to the size I want. I haven't decided if I'm going to have it in 12 or 14. Somewhere in there would be good. All right, we're going to put some graphics in here. So I have Google Images in the background. And so a good way to insert a graphic quickly from an internet source is to go to the Insert tab and choose Screen Clipping underneath the Screenshot button. And I've got my Mad Scientist here that I'm going to grab. Now when you're taking graphics off internet source, you're going to have to tell me where you got your image from. You have to give attribution, which means you need to give credit to the creator of this image. So give credit to whom credit is due. We'll get to that in another tutorial, but for now I'm showing you how to insert the graphic. It's a little large, so I'm going to resize it proportionally by grabbing the corner and ensuring that it's proportional by holding the Shift key down. Now I want to place this somewhere on the left side. Now we know about wrap text, but next to that button is called Position, and I'm going to choose this one, and I think I want the position of this graphic to be right here, kind of on the right side of the column. So as I place this now, it's going to take up that position. Now you have some flexibility here to move this around. You could move it up a little bit and have it look like that. You could now put it on the left side of the column, something like that. All right. Also, here, let me get this out of the way for a second. Also, right now I've got the text in left alignment, but some of you might want to choose justified. So in my paragraph group, if you try this button, the justify command, then you have edges that are straight on both the left and right side of the column. The downside is you have some bigger gaps to create that effect in your text. So you'll have to weigh if you like that look or not. I'm going to go without for now, and I'm going to use the graphic to help form my right edge to that paragraph, sort of like that. Okay. Now I'm going to insert a text box also in here where I'm going to maybe put a special feature or special kind of announcement, or in this case I'm going to put a tip in here. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab, choose the text box triangle, and like I've said before, I prefer to draw my own text boxes. So for now I'm just going to draw it out down here. It's just going to be a little box about safety tips. Always wear safety goggles when you're doing science experiments. Okay. And I don't like the size of that, so I'm going to change that using the Home tab, shrink that up a little bit. And I want my text box to stand out a little differently or separately from the regular text. So I'm going to go up to Format, I'm going to Shape Fill, and I'm going to add, I think, this color for now. And I could also change the way the text looks. Text tool right here, or you could go to the Home tab. And the box is a little bigger than I need it, so I'm going to shrink the box up a little bit. All right, something like that. So, and like I did with the clip art, I'm going to choose position, and perhaps I want it to be in the bottom left. Okay, and that has some flexibility, so maybe I don't like it quite right there, so I'm going to bring that up a little bit, maybe to there, something like that. Or I have the flexibility to put it anywhere. So maybe I'll put it over here somewhere. So you get the idea that when you use that positioning button, you can affect where your text boxes will go. All right, I'd like to have you give that a try. Something we did not talk about in this video was inserting clip art from Microsoft Office. We'll get to that in another tutorial.